Now, what is going on, everybody? Live from my sky-rise apartment in Manhattan. Welcome to the second episode of the Doghouse Hangout. I'm your host, Mr. Baddog7676, and tonight I am very pleased to present my special guest, the one and only Rover Sports. What's good, my man? And thank you for coming on tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having me. When you had OneGiantRebuttal, I got a little jealous there, so I had to step in.
I appreciate you being here, my man. Let's just say what's up to the chat real quick. I saw my man Pigskin Pete is in the house. Texas Liberty, Gritty City.
Pigskin Pete's a good guy, man.
Poppy Chulo Chad, Afghanistan, Caesar Munoz, Brandon Rogers, Cowboys Nation 214, been a while. Taylor S, SpermCell in the house. Poppy Goat, Alex Nora, Cal. What is going on, everybody? Poppy Chulo Chad, Caesar Munoz in here. Kenny Erickson, Omcar's in the house. Thank you all for joining tonight. It'll be a lot of fun. What is up, 40 Luck?
It's like a roll call you got.
It's
is.
Like
you ever had homeroom in school, Bad Dog?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Here.
Yeah.
Present.
Freaking advisory, like where the only job is just to yell the attendance. That's kind of what you do with these guys, man. You're getting the whole thing down. Getting all these guys down.
We try. Now, people trickle in and out as it goes on, so I don't always get everybody. But when we start, I try to get everybody, let them know what's going on. So, my man Rover, tell them about your channel, man. Anybody that hasn't done so, you can subscribe to my man Rover Sports. The link is in the description. And the link to this channel is in the description. The last thing I copied was the stupid stream key. I like to copy or link to your channel and put it in the chat, but I don't have that. So go in the description, click on it, sub him up. That is Rover Sports, the one and only. People know Rover, but if you don't, go in there, sub him up. Great content. Awesome guy, hilarious guy, thinks outside the box. We'll talk about that a little as we go on tonight. So, I want to ask you, how did you, what made you decide you wanted to start why did you want to start a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I came on this show just to hear, awesome guy from you, Bad Dog. I need the reinforcement.
You are.
But, going back to my YouTube show, the reason I started, doing YouTube is because before school, I'm sure that you have your sports idols. Maybe it's Francesa, but mine was Mike and Mike. When I was going into school at 7:30 in the morning, I'd listen to Mike and Mike on the radio show. And they just talk sports all the time. And me and my friends, we would argue about sports. The New York Giants are probably the biggest passion of mine. And growing up in Philadelphia, growing up in enemy territory, just being a Giants fan, I never wanted to follow and be an Eagles fan. Being a Giants fan is really my identity.
Yeah.
It's really my identity as being a New York Giants fan. So that's kind of what started that's what started my YouTube channel. Is I just love sports broadcasting. I've done it since I was maybe 15 years old, and people get paid to talk sports, man. And that was the dream.
Yeah, that's awesome. I see Mustard.
That was the dream for me. And I just started out on YouTube, and I never really got big. I know I'm not big, but the thing that really committed me to YouTube is actually my film review, Bad Dog. I'm sure when you started out, you were starting out in the TTC, but you kind of almost need that viral moment for you to really dedicate time to YouTube, because you're probably getting 100 views here, 200 views there. I did a Gabbert versus Colin Kaepernick film review, and the San Francisco 49ers fans, ironically, they're still most of my subscribers, because when you hit that topic, that unique topic, that's what jumpstarts your channel. And then through YouTube, it's been an absolute blast. And after Giants games, I need a place to vent as well. I need to put my own spin on things, and that's why YouTube is the perfect avenue to do all that stuff.
Absolutely. I just want to say, so Mustard Bus in the house. Mustard Bus will be on the show tomorrow night about this time, guys, so you want to tune in for that as well. This is kind of an impromptu thing. My man Rover reached out to me. I said, hell yeah, let's do it. So where did you get the YouTube name from? Where did you come up with Rover Sports?
So I came up with Rover Sports because a lot of my channel is roving from topic to topic. Like I might just drop like a Derek Carr video. Russell Westbrook got traded. I didn't want to myself, like into just being Giants guy or something. Because I even love college football. You like Oklahoma football. Yep. I want to be able to talk Oklahoma ball and not just be like stuck to a Giants or one team. So Rover, like when you think of a Rover, he roves ever.
Gotcha. So I'll ask you. You said you grew up a Giants fan. Living in Philadelphia, how do you become a Giants fan? Like, what made you root for the Giants?
Yeah, and I just want to say again, like, thanks for having me on. Like, I love these interviews because even my parents, like, it's even tough for friends to ask about your life. So it's freaking awesome. It's almost like a psychologist, but you're my guy. So it's amazing. It's a psychologist with 40 people watching you. Yeah. But the reason why I really became a Giants fan is I think it might have been my hatred for maybe the Philadelphia Eagles fan.
I feel you there.
Okay, and have you ever been to the Link before or Veteran Stadium?
I have not. I stay clear of that place.
Have you ever been to Philadelphia?
No. Well, I think when I was young, we kind of drove through there, but I don't remember it.
I just think being an Eagles fan, it's a very like aggressive kind of. Even at Veteran Stadium, they take pride in aggressive, and just my dad's side of the family is just kind of built to just love Eagles football, and I'm just kind of maybe like a guy that likes to sort of be on my own or against the grain, against other things. So when the Giants would play the Eagles, they'd be that rival, and going into the Link, the blue, the rivalry of the New York Giants, kind of the stability of the franchise. But when I was younger, it was an enemy of the Eagles, which is the New York Giants. Eli Manning was completely an underdog character. One of my first games I went to was the game where the Eagles made the Super Bowl, and Eli was out there. And he got killed. Do you remember that?
I do. I think it was Joe McDougal that almost decapitated him. I'm pretty sure that was the year. I think it was McDougal almost killed him. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. The Eagles were just on fire at that time. And I guess when Kerry Collins was, the quarterback of the Giants. Also, I do have – my mom is from Wayne, New Jersey. So I have part of the family that is New Jersey-based. My Grammy – would get me so much Giants gear too. And it was really just like, and I was the one friend that was a New York Giants fan, and I was proud of it. And the Eagles fans can be nasty. Some of them are good guys. Yeah. All my friends are Eagles fans. Not all terrible people. Right. A lot of them are subscribers, but it was really just the enemy territory. And I love just being on my own. And Baddog, when the Giants won the Super Bowl in 2007, I was in middle school, and I went to the Super Bowl, and I got back to class, and love that freaking feeling, man, of just being on top of the world as a Giants fan.
It is awesome. I mean, I'm old enough to have been there 4 times, so I say they're all special in their own way. The 1990 Giants are definitely they're my favorite team because of how good San Francisco was and how nobody gave us a chance. We went into Candlestick Park back in 1990, ended their three-peat bid in one of the best games. And I mention all the time, I say, if you guys want to go watch a good old school fashion, hard-hitting, smash-mouth football game, go watch the 1990 NFC Championship game. It's just a great played game. Let me ask you this.
Yeah, and Baddog, the New York Giants, I'm sorry to cut you off, but the New York Giants are also not like the Dallas Cowboys. They're not like the bandwagon. It's kind of a tight-knit community, and we've had our struggles throughout the years. So that's also what's kind of attractive about being a Giants fan is even in 2007, man, like no one expected us to do anything, and that's what's so damn fun about being a Giants fan.
It's true. Pretty much every year that they won it, except for 1986, we were underdogs. So it is special to win it any time you can. So I love it. Let me ask you this: so outside of YouTube, you're not doing YouTube, you're not going to a football game. Do you have any hobbies besides sports? Is there something you like to do besides where you collect anything? Do you bowl? Do you shoot darts? Like what do you like to do outside of YouTube and outside of sports?
Yeah, my parents always tell me that you gotta love stuff outside, that it's always good to be multifaceted. The thing that I love doing the most, it's so funny. I have a lot of, I guess, like different hobbies. So I love golfing. You know, me and my dad love doing that as a hobby. It's so relaxing to get out with nature. So I love golfing. If it's ping pong, I enjoy that. So I enjoy playing sports, pick up basketball, just being a shooter on the wing, waiting on the baseline and not getting the ball at all and just watching everybody ignore you and going to the park with your buddies.
Yeah.
That's what I'll freaking do. I'll bowl two-handed. I'm a two-handed bowler.
Okay.
I certainly love comedy. It's like my favorite comedic stuff ever. Like Louis C.K., I'll watch him. Eastbound and Down, Kenny Powers. So, like, going to see a funny movie, I don't think there's anything better than seeing a funny movie. I'm also, about me that's kind of unique is I love, like, the rural Midwest and the South. Like, my favorite basketball team in college is the Creighton Jays from Omaha, Nebraska. So I just love those random places. Like, I'd rather go to South Dakota than go to Paris on vacation. So I like wide open land. I like country music. I just try to be a little bit different in those kind of ways. So
you definitely enjoyed the draft then down in Tennessee, down in Nashville.
Yeah, I like Nashville a lot. You know, Nashville's a good town. Now, Nashville is getting very popular for its tourist attractions, but the city of Broadway, man, is unbelievable. You could sit in there in Nashville and see, like, live music, and it's phenomenal. And there's so many hot women there. It's an unbelievable place. You got to go.
Yeah, that's a place I've actually always wanted to go. I haven't made it there. Maybe, you know, that's not that far away, so that's something I could definitely do at some point. So let's get into
Pop Fizzle's down there. He's a good guy, so I got to meet him actually out there.
Yeah. Well, you went to his house too once, right? And he interviewed you there or something. I remember seeing that video.
He locked me in his house, man. It's a creepy place. He locked me in his house. He doesn't have any cable or electricity. He has deer all over. Like, he has, like, hunted deer, dude. It's it's a really scary place.
It's very, very interesting. So, okay.
He wanted to arrest me and keep his little puppets so that I'd play off of them, you know?
So let's get into the Giants. So obviously, let me ask you this. What is your record prediction? Well, before I get into that, the Giants draft, you were down there. You obviously and everybody else saw my reaction to Daniel Jones. I was not happy. I was irate. The part of that video went viral in a compilation. I lost my mind. You said right from the beginning, I'm Gucci with it. I'm happy with it. I'm good with it. What did you like about Daniel Jones out of Duke? Because I didn't watch Duke football, so you must have known. Because if you've seen my videos now, I'm all aboard the DJ train. I'm all aboard Daniel Jones. But you knew right away. So what did you like about Daniel Jones? You said, I'm Gucci with the pick. I like it.
It's so funny that, like, watching that back, like I'm Gucci, like Gucci bra or whatever is gonna be like the slogan, and I never realized that would happen. And I know that was your general reaction. I'm sure some people like tried to fabricate reactions like after the fact, you know. But I knew that you were expecting Josh Allen.
Yeah.
To me, it was just kind of a relief because I looked at Dwayne Haskins and. Even Dwayne Haskins said, Baddog, he said the Giants messed up, the league messed up, exactly like Josh Rosen. So we already had like an Odell Beckham who's very outspoken, and we figured it out at the quarterback position with this Daniel Jones. And watching him throw, he wasn't as ridiculously talented as Kyle, even as his arm talent isn't even like Drew Lock. But the guy is very smart. He's very hardworking. He was a 3-star, or he was like a 0-star recruit going to Duke.
Right.
And you look at the success of the quarterbacks in this league, whether it's Russ Wilson, whether it's Deshaun Watson, Drew Brees, and of course Peyton Manning, you got to be very smart. So this kid's very smart. And the fact is, with the Odell Beckham trade already, all the Giants fans already hated the move. So with Daniel Jones, it feeds into the underdog mentality. Like, he is just perfect to be like the next like Eli Manning.
Right.
Because Eli Manning, when he won the Super Bowl, the same year he beat Tom Brady, It was David versus Goliath. He
Mm-hmm.
threw 4 interceptions against the Vikings, like during the season. He was like terrible. You didn't even know if he would be the franchise quarterback until he made that playoff run. Daniel Jones has the underdog mentality. And I'm not going to lie, his tape was kind of scary, like you were talking about. But I'm so happy that it was almost like a relief, Baddog, because I was like you. I was getting sick of the quarterback discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just so happy that we now have our plan. It was all, when's Eli going to retire? Are we getting Teddy Bridgewater? Are we getting Tannehill? Are we freaking getting Mariota? Are we getting
Foles?
And that conversation can be fun, but I'm like, fuck it. I'm tired of this conversation, man. So
it's funny you mentioned that Minnesota game. I was at that game. I've mentioned this story before. I was at that game in 2007 when he threw 4 interceptions and 3 pick sixes. And I remember seeing a guy burn Eli Manning's jersey in the parking lot. And after they won the Super Bowl and you're celebrating everything, I thought about that guy. I'm like, I wonder how he feels now that he burned that jersey. Probably went out and had to buy another one because now he believes in Eli Manning. So,
how were you with Eli at that time?
I was patient with Eli, believe it or not. I felt like he was just, I don't know. He has a lot. If you watch Eli Manning play, it's very strange. People say he's very lucky because of that helmet catch. But if you look at a lot of his interceptions are on deflections. A lot of his interceptions are off his own, players' shoulder pads. They bounce up in the air and they get picked off. He has a lot of bad luck when it comes to tip balls and balls bouncing off his own players' shoulder pads, off their chest, off their hands. They get tipped up and they get picked off by the defender. I'm not saying that that's the reason for all of them, but it's hard to find a quarterback that has more tipped balls, deflected balls get picked off than Eli Manning. So I was patient with him. I wasn't, he'd only been in the league a few years. He was really bad his rookie season, and I just don't think he can give up on a 25, 26-year-old quarterback that's selected first overall. It's kind of hard to do that. I mean, we'd made the playoffs 2 years prior to that. So, in that last game against the Patriots in 2007, I feel like that's where he found it. The Giants knew they were good that game. The Patriots are playing for that undefeated regular season record, and the Giants scared the hell out of them, put up 35 against them. I said, you know what, this team plays like this, they have a chance to go deep in the playoffs, and they did. So,
Plexico had, the catches in that game. And, Eli, the game versus the Denver Broncos when he hit, I think, Toomer to win by 1 point.
Yeah.
If you remember, it was like Jake Plummer versus Eli.
Yeah.
He had some of those ridiculous kind of comeback moments. And I was at the Carolina 23-0 game, and that was pretty freaking embarrassing. You know what I mean? When they kicked our ass in that playoff game.
Yeah.
But with Eli Manning, he certainly had like that underdog persona. And Tavares Jackson, it's so funny that the Vikings just killed us with Tavares Jackson. It was just terrible. Yeah. So 2007 was the most special time maybe of my life. I mean, the Cowboys game, winning that game, and the Lawrence Tynes game is the most emotional game I've ever seen. In my life.
Yeah, I was very emotional because you have the ups and downs. Like he missed one at the end of regulation. He wasn't even close. And then he goes out there to kick a foot. I remember watching this at my buddy's house, and I'm like, how the hell are you going to send him out there to kick it, man? He can't kick this damn field goal. He ain't going to make this. And sure enough, he drilled it. So definitely, it was crazy. That run was amazing. Like I said, every one of these Super Bowls I've seen is special.
No, I wanted him to kick that. But the interception just kind of held us together. But being a Giants fan, it's not like an easy ride. Like I can't even imagine being a Patriots fan or even a Cowboys or Steelers fan. I can't imagine being dominant at anything. Yeah.
Right. Well, the Cowboys haven't been dominant in years, which is nice for us. I mean, they haven't won anything in a quarter of a century, so that doesn't hurt my feelings at all. Let me ask you this. We'll go back to the Giants. If you had to grade the Giants draft overall, what would you give it?
Like looking back, I'm trying to think, like looking at it now, I do like the Daniel Jones. I feel like Jones just is going to be smart. He's going to be able to handle the New York media. The guy I'm most excited about is DeAndre Baker. He's already doing terrific in training camp. That's a guy I wanted. I wasn't
Me
as
too.
high on Dexter Lawrence, but the guy is such a he's such a high character individual, which really helps. O'Shane, I had no idea about him. Julian Love, I think it's good value. Darius Slayton. If Daniel Jones hits, it's going to be one of the great drafts ever. Last year's draft is already kind of an A. I came away from it. I'm going to give it like a B or a B plus, honestly.
Yeah, I'm that takes away. You answered the question. I was going to say, what was your favorite draft pick? Mine was also DeAndre Baker because I thought DeAndre Baker would be the first corner off the board. I thought he was going to go in the mid rounds. I thought he'd be like 14th, 15th. I thought he might go to Atlanta. And I love DeAndre Baker. I watch a lot of SEC football. So DeAndre Baker, Darius Slayton was another one I thought we stole. He was really good at Auburn. He had 4.39 speed. He's got a big time vertical leap. He's 6'1", and he's completely impressed at OTAs and minicamp, a late 5th round pick. So that's great value as well. So I agree with you. I also wanted Dexter Lawrence. That was the guy I wanted. I thought he went a little early at 17, but that was a guy that I wanted. I wanted the Giants to get Dexter Lawrence. I said in every draft, give me the Sooners offense, give me the Clemson defense, and we'll have an A draft. I mean, that's what I want every draft.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of I did like Deontay Thompson out of Alabama. That was another safety. Chase Winovich is another guy that I think was phenomenal in the draft process. There were some good offensive tackles. The Mike Remmers is really going to be interesting. He really has to be solid for the Giants. But Baker was by far my favorite. He's such a confident player, and at Georgia, he had so many pick sixes. He hits like crazy. He is the most confident player in the entire draft. His confidence borders on arrogance, and
you need that as a corner.
That was my favorite pick. Dexter Lawrence, though, to me, Baddog, when that pick happened, I was very lukewarm. This is not a flashy player, and this isn't a player known for getting sacks. So I was lukewarm on Dexter Lawrence. I wasn't going nuts. I was like, oh, okay, with Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah. I mean, because I was so numb about getting Daniel Jones 6th overall that night, I couldn't even really celebrate them getting DeAndre Baker. Because I really, that was, like I said, the Giants picked a couple of guys that I really wanted, and Baker and Lawrence. I was of the advocate that if we didn't get our guy at quarterback, go defense the first 3 picks because we really need the defense. But I love what they've done with this secondary. We got Sam Beal last year in the supplemental draft. We get DeAndre Baker. We add Julian Love. They get Corey Ballantyne. They bring in a Jabril Peppers. So they have a very young secondary. Then you got you got your veteran corner in Janoris Jenkins, and you got your veteran safety in Antoine Bethea, who is used to better system. So these two guys can teach these kids a lot about being professional football players. And I think Beal and Baker is going to be a great battle in training camp. And then you look at the front 7, and you got Lorenzo Carter. He's a second-year player. You got B.J. Hill. He's a second-year player. Both of those guys made impacts in the rookie season. Then you add a Dexter Lawrence, and you add an X-Man, and they got a very good young front 7. And again, you bring in a Marcus Golden who knows better system, and he can teach these young guys about the pass rush, and he can teach them about coverage. He can teach them about a lot of things as far as Betcher goes. So I love what we're doing with the defense. It may take a year or so to get that acclimated to the NFL, but I love the direction that they're going on defense. We need that secondary because our pass rush ain't great. So when you don't have a good pass rush, you need a good secondary. And
yeah, I think our defense. I'll tell you the question marks of the defense. I think that X-Man really needs to be the guy, because even our friend Uncle Lou would say DeAndre Carter has all the potential to be absolutely fantastic, but he's so inconsistent. B.J. Goodson is a guy from the Reese era. Alec Ogletree was not that impressive. A lot of games he would get burned in coverage. So maybe this Connolly kid can shoot up and be an awesome linebacker. You have Tomlinson, who's a Reese pick, right, but I like Tomlinson.
He's a young player,
The great news is about the defense, Baddog, is in the middle, you have B.J. Hill, Tomlinson, and Lawrence. You should be able to stuff Ezekiel Elliott. You should be able to stop Miles Sanders and Geis, whoever you're going to need to stop. And then I'm with you. The secondary by far is my favorite part of this defense. Off the edge, if the X-Man can somehow be a shocking 7-sack guy, if the X-Man can be that guy for us, then our defense can potentially be pretty damn good. So I think I love our secondary, the corners, because it's a passing league, And at least Dave Gettleman's acknowledging that, that's a passing lead.
Yeah, I'll ask you about that because I go off a lot. Now, you mentioned the Odell Beckham trade. I was very happy with that, by the way. You can go back. There's a video of me from March of 2018. It's not my original video. My original video was from September 2017. I don't have that video on my channel anymore. But March 2018, I go back, and you can tell I lost a lot of weight. My face was a lot fatter. I lost 30 pounds like after that video. Like I lost 30 pounds. That was when I started my diet. I lost a lot of weight. But so I go back and look, oh, damn, I was heavier than I thought I was. But I'm talking about how I want Beckham traded. And I say this a bunch of times. I'm like, I don't want to pay this guy money. I'm like, I don't care how good he is. And I said, we have so many holes in this team. You can't give a wide receiver all this damn money and not fill your other holes. So when they traded Beckham away, and the funny thing is, before that, when we traded Olivier Vernon, I did a video on that, and I said, don't be surprised if Odell Beckham's next. Those are words out of my mouth. Don't be surprised if Odell Beckham's next. It will not be surprise me if we trade him. And I think it was 2 days later, they traded him. Now, and even though it did surprise me a little bit, but it didn't surprise me. But we got a 17th overall pick, which turned into next round. We got Jabril Peppers, and we got a 3rd round pick. I thought that was great value considering that the Steelers only got a 3rd and a 5th for Antonio Brown. We don't have that distraction anymore with Odell Beckham. And to me, I look at it like you're going to have better team chemistry, have less distractions, but a lot of younger generational players, generational fans, because they're fantasy football fans, just look at the numbers and look at the names and go, you're going to be a lot worse. So, I mean, what do you think? I personally think our offense will be improved without him because they're going to have to spread the ball around everywhere, and Eli Manning won't feel the need to force the ball to anybody. Like sometimes I felt like he would force it to Beckham when he didn't need to. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I even go way deeper than that. When you look back at Odell Beckham, the Green Bay game, the fact that like before the Green Bay game he went on the trip, but I think the worst thing that he did was the fights with Josh Norman. Mm-hmm. And when you watch that, he single-handedly was acting like a petulant child on the field, man. He took us out of the football game. And Eli Manning, I think he wouldn't admit this, but and no fans will see this, but I thought he was actually bullied by this guy.
Yeah, I did too.
I thought that Odell Beckham, because Eli's very quiet, he's very reserved, he just can get walked over. Mm-hmm. And I think that Odell Beckham would complain, ask for the football. We're already seeing in Cleveland, like it's so funny, Freddie Kitchens, when he missed out on training camp and OTAs, Freddie Kitchens, this guy, in Cleveland now, there's like 1,000 reporters asking about where is Odell, at training. The guy, how's your relationship? Have you talked to Odell Beckham? What's going on? And he's even flipped out on Twitter a couple of times. Mm-hmm. And so last year, I would say it was maybe before last year, when McAdoo was gone, I wanted a wholesale change with the New York Giants. And I actually feel Odell Beckham was the reason why our team was terrible. I think he was probably 80% of why Eli and the whole team was terrible was because he didn't get along with the players in the locker room. And maybe the players will not admit that, but I believe he was a huge, huge distraction. And I think that he was the single reason why our franchise has really been terrible was him and Reese. He's not the only reason, but I think he was the big reason. I don't even care what you didn't get back in what you got back in compensation. The fact that he was gone, he was gone. I was desperate to make that deal, and I said the Giants wouldn't be the Giants until he was gone. I think he's the most distracting player in the NFL, and I think that he's just insane. And I couldn't wait to get rid of the guy. I don't think he can be a part of a consistent winner. Right. And I don't think Cleveland's going to be a consistent winner. Maybe they're like Jacksonville and have 1 year. They're not winning 5 straight years with that.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, that could be a really heated locker room. These guys start off bad. There's a lot of big personalities there. Baker Mayfield's a big personality. Kareem Hunt's a big personality. Jarvis Landry's a big personality. These guys start losing, you could start to see them in a turn on one another. Odell Beckham. Like I said, and I mentioned this in a lot of videos I've done about Beckham, that it's not just him that's a distraction. The media is a distraction because they always want to ask Odell Beckham about stuff. And I said, you know what? This isn't our problem anymore. They're going to go to Cleveland. They're going to ask Beckham about this, and this. And you know what you've heard from Giants training camp? Nothing. No distractions, no players running their mouths, no holdouts, no nothing. All you hear is positive energy. And I try to tell younger fans, team chemistry is an enormous part of winning football. We've won 4 Super Bowls here in New York. None of those teams had Odell Beckham on them. So we don't need a wide receiver like that to win. The Giants have always won with smash mouth football, great running game, which we have now. We have the best running back in the league, in my opinion, and defense. We're working on the defense. You get the defense, you build the offensive line, you run the ball, you have a kid like Daniel Jones come in that doesn't need to throw the ball 45 times a game. He just needs to make his throws, not make mistakes, run an RPO, run play action, and the Giants can be very successful with Daniel Jones. So I think that the Giants are moving in the right direction, even if people don't want to see it. It's more outside of our fan base that don't want to see that the Giants are making good moves.
I think we're moving perfectly. I have high expectations for this year. Like, it's probably going to be Eli's last year. I'm still thinking playoffs this year. The fact that Odell's gone, I think if Odell Beckham was on this team, I don't think we would win a playoff games for another 10 years. I mean, I think that Odell Beckham has the power to take down Daniel Jones, and he connects with this young fan base, and the young fan base is so stubborn that they're not going to come with us until we start, like, I guess, winning games. They want to blame everything on Eli Manning. Yep. They just take that argument, and it's really disappointing. The national media thinks that Dave Gettleman is nuts for trading Odell Beckham. They think that we are lunatics for supporting Eli Manning, for getting rid of Odell Beckham. And it would be amazing if we can kind of show that we're past that era of Giants football again. It would both good enough. And yeah, Eli Manning, I'm definitely a little worried if he's going to perform decently next year. But we have Evan Ingram. Let's hit the short passing game. We're going to stay in a lot of games. And to your point, I love how quiet the training camp is. And you could see the players won't admit it, but good, because number 13 is gone, because Olivier Vernon's gone. Guess what? Everyone wants to talk about how great of a player Snacks Harrison was. He was very outspoken on Twitter. He was actually he was a combative player. Even Landon Collins.
Oh God! So, thank God we got rid of him. I hated Landon Collins. I was not a fan of Landon Collins.
What did you hate his? Did you hate his kind of leadership at the Eli Apple situation?
So overrated. This guy had no sacks and no interceptions last year, and he made the Pro Bowl. How's that possible? That's why the Pro Bowl is a ridiculous thing. It's a joke. Landon Collins stinks. He can't cover. He quits on the team. I saw him quit on the team with the Rams. He's inconsistent. Okay, he tackles a little bit. Big deal. He's a safety. Covers somebody. We watched George Kittle undress him that whole Monday night in San Francisco. Watch Zach Ertz tear this guy up year after year. He can't do anything. He can tackle. He's a box safety. The Washington gave him $84 million. He ran his mouth constantly. Yeah, I'm so glad he didn't sign him.
I mean, I think that he was a little bit quieter than like an Odell. And in 2016, like, the guy made plays. In 2016, he was great, and he would still make plays in the running game. So that player, I got behind Landon certainly more than Odell, but too expensive, and too expensive.
The one thing I'll say about Odell Beckham, and this makes me think that the Giants knew in March, or whenever we traded him, I don't remember the exact day we traded him, they knew they were taking Daniel Jones. I don't think that it was for Eli Manning's sake that they traded Odell Beckham. I think it was for Daniel Jones' sake, because you don't want a rookie quarterback having to deal with that personality, where it's one thing to have a veteran quarterback where Eli Manning could just shake it off and be like, yeah, whatever, I've been in this league this long, I'm a Hall of Famer, I've won 2 Super Bowls, I don't really give a damn what this guy says, as opposed to a young rookie coming in that's going to have that big personality in his face. Yo, kid, you got to throw me the ball. Throw me the ball, I'm open. I'm open every time, and if he doesn't throw him the ball, he's going to chew him out. I think that was more for Daniel Jones, and I think the Giants knew they wanted Daniel Jones. They said, we're not going to have this guy ruining our rookie quarterback. We're not going to have that guy in Daniel Jones' face. We're going to get rid of him, and we're going to get the most we can for him.
You know what? In players, all they do, Baddog, is they just pay attention to Twitter. And Odell Beckham feel sorry for himself, and our fan base has kind of become not you or a bunch of people, but our fans have just become really sorry for themselves. Like they believe that we're going to be terrible, that 12, that they're almost ashamed to be Giants fans because of the Odell Beckham, because of no Dwayne Haskins. And my point is that players nowadays, they pay attention to Twitter, and that's what governs their mind. So Jalen Ramsey thinks Josh Allen sucks because Twitter told him that Josh Allen sucks. If Daniel Jones was here, he missed the throw to Odell. Odell would roll his eyes,
God, yeah.
and he would go on social media and pout. And everybody would say, yeah, Odell, you got to get away from the Giants and Daniel Jones. He sucks. Because players now, they just listen to social media. That's the whole reason why, they thought Lamar was so much better than a Josh Allen. It's all because of the perception you were talking about.
Right. All right. So let's do this. I'm going to ask you, now we're done. We'll finish with the Giants here. And I'll ask you some rapid-fire questions, man. I'm going to ask you some rapid-fire questions. You just tell me the first thing that pops into your head or whatever, and then we'll take some questions for the chat for our guest, Rover Sports. By the way, again, anybody that is not subbed up to Rover Sports, make sure you go into the description of this video. The link to his channel is there. If one of my mods can put it in the chat, that'd be great, too. But make sure you click on the link. Sub up my man, Rover Sports. Definitely don't want to miss
Can I ask you one question, Baddog?
Yes.
What are the chances that this team is and do you think Eli can play the whole season and that we could be a playoff team? That's my question.
You cut out there for a second. What did you say before the Eli thing?
Do you think that this is a playoff team? Can Eli play this whole season?
I don't think we're quite a playoff team. I think that we're better than people are going to give us credit for. I think we could go 7-9, 8-8. I think at the beginning, it's hard to say. If we start off good, and this team has to learn how to win. We need that winning culture back in this locker room. This team needs some damn confidence. And I think even Eli needs some damn confidence. The Giants lose a lot of close games. They lose a lot of tough games because they don't know how to win. They have to learn how to win again. If they go out and beat Dallas week 1 in Dallas and make a statement, I don't care how ugly it is, we come out of there with a W, and then we go out and don't have a letdown against the Bills and start the season off 2-0, that team can make the playoffs. But if we start off 0-1 and lose a close game on a last-second field goal like we do so many damn times in Dallas, then all of a sudden the doubt starts to set in, and I don't know how good the team can overcome because they're young, too. So you want to get that confidence in these young guys. I think if they start off good, and we have an easy schedule at the beginning of the year, I think if they start off good, we have a chance. If they start off bad, I think you're going to see Daniel Jones after the bye.
I think we certainly have that going. I think it'll be tough to win that game, but I think it'll be tight. I don't think they're going to get away from us. We're going to have opportunities to strike on offense, and then that Bills game's a winnable game. The Tampa game's going to be fascinating. Definitely. It's a scary game with Bruce Arians. Can't wait for the season. But yeah, let's do some rapid fire.
Rapid fire questions. Who is your favorite all-time player?
In football or sports?
Any sport.
It's an amazing question. Actually, I'm gonna go. I have to say one guy, correct?
Yeah, one guy. Give me one guy. First guy pops in your head.
I'll say Derek Jeter, maybe.
Jeter. Right.
I'll say Derek Jeter. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of people's favorite players. Nothing wrong with that.
It's not my favorite guy it's not my favorite guy like of all time to watch. Like Johnny Manziel maybe at A&M was like my favorite guy, or Jimmer Fredette. It's so hard to narrow a person. I love so many players.
Right.
The way Jeter carried himself, he's just an athlete that I was proud to support. Like Eli Manning might be up there. Like Eli and Jeter probably for me.
Jimmer Fredette's from my neck of the woods. He was a little farther north than me, up in Queensbury. But yeah, I remember Jimmer Fredette being a big deal around here. It's funny you mentioned him.
Like even in high school?
Yeah, that's where he played high school, Queensbury. So that's probably 15 miles, 20 miles north of me. Yeah.
In high school, he was huge, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he's from my neck of the woods. Just like Tommy Canley of the Yankees is from south of me. He's from Shaker and Latham High School. So we've had some athletes around.
There's a kid going to Syracuse now that's a damn good high school player. You know I'm talking about. He got like 60 points a game up at Glen Falls, actually.
Oh, I don't know him, which is surprising to be honest with you, because that's pretty much where Fredette was from. Oh, what's your favorite song of all time?
I'll say "Born to Run," Bruce Springsteen.
Nice, that's a good one. That's definitely a good one. If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what is it?
It'll be pizza. It's going to be boring. Boring answer.
No, hey. Most of the time, somebody's going to give you a boring answer when it comes to the only food you can eat for the rest of your life.
It has to be thin slice, the New York thin slice style.
Yeah. Out of all three Stooges, which one's your favorite?
Yeah, I don't know him that well. I'll just say Curly. I actually don't know him all that well.
Okay, yeah, I'm watching him right now. That's why I asked you. What's your favorite TV show of all time?
I'm gonna say Entourage is the most enjoyable show I've ever watched in my life.
Nice.
Like Vince, like it inspired me so much in my life. Like I was watching an episode the other day, like they had Jessica Alba at like a pool party, and like they go to the pool parties and it's them and their boys and they're just killing the world. Everybody should watch that show. It just inspires me so much in my life, that show. It really does.
Awesome. Who is the player you hate the most of all time?
Odell Beckham.
Nice.
I don't know if I'm going to go there. I'm going to let me mention the Eagle that I hated the most.
I hate him.
I want to say an Eagle that I hated the most. I mean, McNabb. I don't know if I could say McNabb.
Deshaun Jackson?
Deshaun Jackson, I freaking hated.
I think every Giants fan hates him, man. I think every Giants.
Dancing across the end zone?
Yeah. I think
hated him. And then in baseball, Kevin Youkilis, I hate
everything. There you go. Yeah, I can see he's Red Sox. To hell with him. I don't know.
Who's your least favorite Red Sox? Pedro? Manny? Who's your least favorite one?
I freaking hated Manny. I hated Manny I hated Manny Ramirez. Hated him.
But it's funny. Baseball, I kind of miss that, hating that guy, though, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they don't really have guys to hate anymore. I actually like a lot of Red Sox.
He was such a great character for baseball. Like, I almost laugh at him going to the bathroom in the Green Monster and all that stuff. Like, I kind of miss that personality.
One of my favorites is when he tried to cut off the throw from Johnny Damon that was going to third base. He dove over to cut off Johnny Damon's outfield throw going to third base. That was it's probably my favorite Manny moment. Manny being Manny, right there, just cutting off an outfield throw going to third base. It was hilarious.
Absolutely.
Cake or pie?
Cake, zero doubt about it. Chocolate cake. I don't even have pie that often unless it's maybe pumpkin on Thanksgiving. So that's an easy cake all the way. Not even consider the pie.
Last one before we get to the chat. What's your favorite beer?
That is tough. That is kind of tough because I haven't really found like an old reliable. I need to kind of find the old. I like a Victory, like a 9-ounce, like a Victory Hop Devil or something. I would say maybe.
Nice. I've never heard of that, but I love to try different beers. So it's definitely something.
Yeah, you have the advantages. You can keep going, man. I love this rapid fire.
That was all I had though. So what we'll do now, we'll take some questions from the chat. However, I'm not picking out the questions. Can you see my chat?
I'll go look at the chat right now. I'm kind of just focusing on the Skype. Do you want to pick it out?
No,
or you can't see it?
You're going to pick it out. I can see it, but I'll let you pick out the questions you want to ask. Because sometimes you get some troll
for myself to answer?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or am I asking you?
No, you look at the chat. The chat will ask you questions. You pick out the questions over there that you want to answer. I'll let the guests pick out the questions they want to answer. If they think there's a good question, I'll let them answer.
It's going to be a poverty of excess, man. There's going to be a lot of good questions, and I'll try not to be shy about it. I'm actually going on YouTube now, so
okay.
Gonna figure it out.
All right, I'll ask this one. I only see a couple. So, Oscar Ostendorf says, Tua or Trevor, who's the first overall pick next year?
Well, Lawrence.
Oh yeah, he's a sophomore next year. He can't be. That's right.
He can't be the guy. But even if I was faced with that question, for me, Tua's like my all-time like favorite college player. And that might have been my favorite athlete. The thing he did against Georgia, I would take Tua over anybody. I think he's going to be the next, like Tom Brady man player.
Right. Afghanistan.
Because I don't know about Lawrence's like mental fatigue or his mental personality. So.
I don't know. He seemed to have no mental problems against Alabama in that championship game. That kid played like he had been there before. What's your favorite horror film? Somebody wants to know.
Yeah, I'm not a horror movie guy whatsoever.
Not at all.
I like get scared. I get scared out of my mind, like Paranormal Activity or whatever, like scares me. I'll say I really don't know the answer to that. Maybe Scream, you know?
Right, that's a good one. Poppy Goat says, Rover, who's your Super Bowl prediction? Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl this year?
The Super Bowl, man, of course you want to say Big Blue. I think I have the 49ers versus, and then in the AFC, I forget my Super Bowl. I'm going to say San Francisco again. I'll say the Niners again.
Really? You think the Niners take the whole thing?
Actually, the 49ers will take the whole thing.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I hate to say the Dallas Cowboys, but I'll say 49ers, Cowboys, maybe. Denver's another team to watch out for, Denver Broncos.
Let's see. Can you see Eli in another uniform after the season, says Real NY Giants Mafia? Which, by the way, Giants Mafia, always representing.
And then a good question from SpermCell about the best game like I've ever attended in my life outside of the Super Bowl. I could see Eli in Jacksonville at 1,000,000%. Well, not if Nick Foles, but I could see him because I really can't see him going somewhere else like Joe Montana to Kansas City. The best game I ever attended outside of the Super Bowl, I actually went to the Cowboys Giants in 2007. On the road, beating them with Toomer going up the sideline.
Nice.
So that game was just an amazing game to go to. I've been to just Giants games. I've been to the Giants when we beat the Dallas Cowboys to win the NFC East Championship on Sunday. And Victor took it 80 yards, and we were sacking Romo. That crowd was amazing. I then got to go to the Falcons game, not to brag, but I got to go to that. And then college basketball wise, I got to Villanova. So that was a very cool game that I went to. And I guess whatever, this is my show. I can brag and be kind of an asshole on here, I guess.
You do whatever you want to do, man. That's what it's all about.
It's almost my show. Like I had my birthday last week. This is almost my freaking show, man. It's almost a Rover time to be selfish for freaking Rover. I'm going to brag and be an asshole. I also went to Alabama Clemson. In the first game where they recovered an onside kick. I went to that college national championship.
Nice. Yeah.
Do you remember when St. Joe's was really good at basketball? Do you remember that?
I don't really know. I can't
Jameer
remember.
Nelson, Delonte West?
I don't remember that.
Oh, because there was a college basketball game. They lost to Oklahoma State in the Elite Eight. I went to that when I was a kid.
Right, yeah. Yeah, well, happy belated birthday, by the way. How old are we?
25.
25! Young pup. Oh, no wonder you don't know which beer you like yet. I'll give you a few years. You get to be my age, you'll know by the time I'll be 43 in a couple weeks. So when you get to be that age, man, you kind of have it figured out by then. But
I like having friends that are your age, man. The people in their 40s, like, you're just more mature than like the 25-year-olds, man. Like 40-year-olds can just roll with the punches better, you know?
Pretty much, because we've been through it all. Nothing really affects us, you know.
But Baddog, when you're 25, I like being 25 better. Like when I went out to bars, or when I was 22 going out with girls or to bars, I would still be nervous. But when you're 25, like there's girls that are 18, 19, like people start to get younger than you at the bars and clubs, and that's a great feeling, man. When you get to be 25, it's nice being freaking older than people at bars and clubs.
I hear you.
I like that.
I hear you.
You hear me?
Yeah. No, I'm saying I understand. I understand. I got you with the older thing. I'm older than everybody now, so it doesn't matter.
Let's see. We got to get some. Come on, let's ask some damn questions here.
Papi Chulo Chad says Rover likes younger girls. Ain't nothing wrong with that. My wife's a lot younger than me, Papi Chulo Chad.
I did say Broncos are going to the playoffs. So the Broncos are going to be freaking awesome. Joe Flacco is going to be – I really think Flacco's going to come back, have his big fan, Gio, that defense. I like Denver's prospects a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how Flacco's going to do with it. I worry about that team. Philip Lindsay is freaking awesome, though. That guy came out of nowhere.
Yeah, he did. He came undrafted. There was a good question, like the Russell Westbrook trade, like people want to talk about that. They want to talk about how Lawrence Taylor is doing. I would love to golf with Lawrence Taylor and meet him. I think he lives in Florida now. You know Lawrence Taylor?
Yeah, of course. My favorite player of all time. You know, the head coach, Bill Parcells, don't live too far away from me either. He lives up in Saratoga. A lot of guys go to Saratoga. Bill Parcells, big track goer, which I can't get tomorrow off of work, which freaking sucks because Mariano Rivera is going to be at the track tomorrow, and I'm not going to be able to go and meet my favorite Yankee of all time. So that kind of sucks. But Mariano Rivera.
So you want to go to the horse track?
Yeah, horse track's not too far from my house. I'm there all the time.
Really? How far?
10 minutes. Yeah.
And do races go on every day?
They're not. They don't run Monday and Tuesday now. They usually just had Tuesday off, but they don't run Monday and Tuesday. So Wednesday through Sunday they run. And then of course they have the harness track. The harness track runs pretty much. For a while I can
make money on horse gambling. Yeah. I thought that. Oh. Yeah. Now it's jockeys, right, or is it pull carts?
Oh,
is
no,
it pull carts in Saratoga?
No, well, that's year-round pretty much, but the flat track runs from July, the middle of July through Labor Day. So that's the big draw, the flat track. Yeah, That's a big draw. That's where the money is. Like the Travers Stakes is a big money thing. It's like $1 million purse, a little more than $1 million. So a lot of times you get your Triple Crown winners, your Belmont winners, you'll get those to come up here and run in the Travers. That's how big of a stakes that is. They got awesome. Pretty big horses here.
Would you move down to Florida if you have to retire?
I want to move to Myrtle Beach. It's kind of where I want to go.
South Carolina.
Yep, South Carolina. Stepmother lives there. I love the area she lives in. So it's 15 years from now when I'm in my 57, 58, done, out. My kid graduates high school. I'm gone.
All right. Afghanistan asks, if I'm hitting a sand wedge as hard as I freaking can, how far would it go? Or I think he asked if I ever took a full swing with a sand wedge. Yeah, I have. Yeah, I've hit a full swing with a sand wedge, and it's still not. It's going to go maybe 100 yards at most, or 105. Unless you skull that shit, But do you play a lot of golf, Baddog?
Hell no. I golf for an excuse to drink. I don't golf. No golf. I suck at golf. Suck. I can drive the hell out of the ball, but then it's all over. And that doesn't necessarily go straight. So I enjoy virtual golf. But then you're chipping and your stuff's a mess by the greens. I enjoy the virtual golf because the bar's right behind you. I ain't got to chase the ball. I'm not going to lose the ball. I ain't got to carry my clubs. So this when you're rolling it, right? No, the actual you hit it right into the screen, and it's like computer generated golf. That type of thing. You actually take your clubs and drive it. Pebble Beach, you bring an iron. Yes. That's beautiful. I wish I had that at my house. It's like $10,000, man. They got a simulator. Yeah, it'd be nice to have one of those in your house. For sure. Yeah, I bet you're unbelievable at pool. I bet you can win whole nights of pool at the bar. Nope, never played pool. Never ever? I played it, but rare. Very rare that I played pool. Do you like going to a local dive bar where it's kind of smoky and people are playing pool? Do you like that sort of thing? Well, I haven't been to a bar. I've been with my wife almost 20 years, so I haven't been to a bar probably since I was in my early 20s. And I always hated the damn smoke. I hated the frickin' stuff. I would come home at night, shirt reeking of cigarettes. I had to take that damn thing off in order to go to sleep because I'm like, I can't smell this. It's awful. I hated that shit.
Bad Dog. Is you were when you were working out and you had like the white beater or the white tank top. I felt like there could have been smoke around, when you were in the TTT, like in that era in the dim lit room. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that would have been a good look for me for sure.
Yeah, I thought it just went with your style, so that's kind of surprising to me.
No.
Let's see.
Bert's on the couch, SpermCell, somewhere.
Feeling up Baddog. That's what SpermCell says.
SpermCell's the man. You gotta love SpermCell. Gotta love him.
SpermCell's crazy.
He is.
Yes. I think that somebody says, thoughts on the Cowboys and the Lakers championship this year. I think the Cowboys are going to be really good. Their defense is awesome. I think Prescott can win you playoff games, so they're going to be a contender for the Super Bowl. I think they'll win the NFC East pretty easily, actually.
I do too. Yeah.
The LA Lakers, I think that they'll still be damn good this year. LA Lakers.
That should be interesting. Lakers and Clippers should be interesting when they play one another. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's going to be beautiful. I love that Kawhi Leonard went to the Clippers. That's great for basketball.
Yeah, didn't see that coming. There was faint talks of him going there, but I figured it was either Toronto or the Lakers, and he didn't go there. Didn't go.
Now, that was fantastic, and he pulled one over on the Lakers, which I loved,
Yep, he did. We'll go over like 5 more minutes, guys, and then we'll cut it off. If there's any more.
Yeah, we'll ask a couple of we'll ask him a couple of questions. We'll answer a couple of questions, but I wanted to say like this whole thing is awesome. I can't wait for you to get other YouTubers on. Have them tell you their stories, talk football with them. And I can't wait until I can't wait for training camp and like fantasy football in that time, man. August is like my favorite year of the year,
Right.
Or favorite month.
Yeah. No, we're a couple weeks away, and man, this is a lot of fun. Like I said, I told Entertain a long time, like when we started that Giants show, I told him this is something I wanted to do. I just had to figure out how to get people on here because I just kind of want to give the viewers, the subscribers, maybe a little inside look at things that they don't know about us because we just come on here and do our sports videos. You don't usually talk about personal things and what we like to do. So I figure if they figure out how, why people like who they do, their favorite players, their hobbies, at least it's something a little different. And it gives me a chance to get to know everybody too because I love the sports community on YouTube. I think it's a great group of guys, and there's a couple gals in there too. And like Last Jedi, she's in everybody's stream. I mean, Taylor's here a lot. There's a lot of really good females that are a part of it too. So it's just a lot of fun. But to get to know a lot of guys like you, I mean, I've worked with you before, but it's awesome to get to know people outside of YouTube a little bit and get to know what they like. So it's pretty cool.
These are like my best friends are from YouTube. That's primarily why I also love having the channel because all of us get to work together. We know each other's stories and everything, and we can collab and it's a whole friendship. And the people on YouTube, like you ask somebody that might be like on radio or in the media to come on your show, they might just ignore you, but YouTubers usually don't, man. We're all just trying to grind and make this thing.
Right. We help
each
other.
It's the best community in the world. And also we just have a bond of the Giants and sports and life. So we have so much shit in common,
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, it's freaking awesome. I mean, like I said, it's a lot of fun, man. I had something I wanted to ask you.
YouTube can be a grind, though. I mean, videos, like some of them might not get the views that me or you are looking for, but you just got to pump out content you're proud of at the end of the day.
That's all I've been doing. I mean, I'm doing these live streams, but I pump out a video every day, and I try to put out Giants content. It's hard right now to put out Giants content, but I'm trying to do something. And like I said, because I tried to upgrade my channel from my viewers. I added the green screen. I added the microphone, the Yeti mic instead of my computer mic. I added new lighting to this. I got merchandise. I got shirts now. I tried to upgrade my channel. I tried to make it better for everybody. Updated my logo, things like that. So I just want to make the product look better. And at the same time, I'm trying to put out the best content I can. And, I do that for my subscribers. I mean, if I'm just going to sit there and go like this, and I want to improve my product for them, I want to be the best video maker I can be for the people that support me. Because without them, I'm nobody on YouTube. So I try to do the best I can.
Yeah, you also have to make the videos that you want to make.
Oh, I do.
Good.
Oh, I do. Trust me. Like that one I did today about Daniel Jones going to be better than Dak Prescott. I enjoyed every second of that one. I wasn't even going to do that. I mentioned this last night in our Talking Giants stream. I said, I think Daniel Jones will be better than Dak Prescott. And there was Philly 500. A couple of guys said, you should do that video. So I said, you're right. I should do that video. And I did it today.
This year or for life, you said that. He's going to be better than Prescott.
In his career, he'll be better than Dak Prescott. I said, give him 2 years, he'll be better than Dak Prescott. Give him 2 years in this league, he'll be better than Dink and Dunk Dak. That's what I think.
I like that. He does have a big threshold there of Prescott. Prescott always needs the team around him to be successful. Prescott can't make it all happen himself. He's never going to be good enough to carry a team, and Daniel might just be good enough to carry a team.
I think so.
We'll see.
I appreciate that, Kyle. He says, I appreciate you, Baddog. Love the channel. I appreciate that, guys, very much. Oh, that was one thing I saw that question. West Coast said, I don't even remember your video, but he says, do you regret the Sam Darnold video? Do you still feel that way?
About Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
No, I do have the doubts still about Sam. I mean, I'm very harsh on Sam Darnold. I'm known as the biggest Sam Darnold hater.
Oh, that's right. Jets. You're right there with me. Because all I ever said was Sam Darnold stinks. I say it all the time. That's one of my calls. Sam Darnold stinks.
He has such a weak arm. Like he's one of the nicest guys out there. So sometimes I'm like, wow, I was so mean to Sam Darnold. But I have no faith in Sam Darnold at all. And people. It doesn't even bother me when people say you took Saquon over Samuel Darnold. I think if the Giants took Darnold, they'd be in such shit, God. So I don't think he's going to pan out at all.
I say this all the time. I say about Sam Darnold, like, you should have taken Darnold. I go, can you imagine Darnold on our team last year turning and handing off to Wayne Gallman? That's what that would have been. He would have been, actually probably would have seen the field because he would have sat behind Eli, but he would have been turning and handing off to Wayne Gallman. Is that what you wanted? Sam Darnold would have got murdered, and he got hurt with the Jets. And then he got the Jets fans who always like to talk the crap about us, and I'm like, do you realize you guys were worse than us last year? Do you realize you were 4-12 and picked third overall, and we were 5-11, and you're telling us we suck? I mean, I don't get Jets fans sometimes. I don't have a lot of Jets fans on here. Gangrene David comes on here, Jets Central once in a while. I don't really deal with a lot of Jets fans, but the ones that I do, it's kind of funny because I'm like, I don't know how you can talk crap to a Giants fan. You've won one Super Bowl, and that was 50 years ago. And, I mean, your best player was drunk and is best known for, I kiss you, which I love Joe Namath. He's a pimp. I love Joe. I love Joey, Broadway
exactly.
Joe. But
yeah.
That's what they're best known for.
Yeah. And the thing about the Jets is now, like, Le'Veon Bell, like, who the hell knows what's going to happen with, like, Gase and Le'Veon? The Jets haven't accomplished anything, and this Darnold guy, I still think Darnold might be a flame out in this league. I think he's still going to be terrible and bad, and he'll have to prove me wrong.
Yeah, me too.
Jared Goff's done a lot better than I expected. That's the one I thought Goff would be terrible as well, and he's done great for himself winning the NFC this year. So. But yeah, I think Darnold is really bad. And Le'Veon Bell combined with Greg Williams, you add all those personalities. Le'Veon Bell, who the hell knows how that's going to work? I mean, the guy got robbed $1 million, like, in his house by, like, 2 strippers. I mean, insane.
Right. But it's funny that you didn't like Sam Darnold because, I mean, I feel the same way about my reaction to Daniel Jones, which I see somebody. This is the funny thing. I get this all the time. He didn't even like the Giants picking quarterback. Now he's better than Dak. I have mentioned every time that I've done a Daniel Jones video that I went and watched film on him. I didn't watch film on Daniel Jones before we picked him. Did not watch Duke football. Didn't know anything about Daniel Jones. I mentioned this right in one of my videos. All I did was look at his stats. And I said, this guy sucks. Then I go and look at the film and say, 38 drop passes. No NFL players and only 3 invited to the combine, including himself. Okay? No offensive line. Duke doesn't win bowl games. Duke sucks. And yet he led them to 2 bowl victories in back-to-back seasons. And they crushed Northwestern, who was a ranked team. And Duke doesn't beat Northwestern in football. Duke doesn't beat these guys in football. So I went back and actually watched him play and said, you know what? This isn't as bad as I thought it was. And this kid can play with the New York Giants because he had no talent at Duke. Dwayne Haskins had all the talent in the world. 2 linemen went in the NFL draft. A running back went in the NFL draft. J.K. Dobbins was their leading rusher. He's a sophomore. He'll go in the NFL draft next year. And 2 wide receivers, McLaurin, who went to the Redskins with him, and Paris Campbell. So he had 5 other guys on his offense that went to the NFL, and Daniel Jones had 2 other guys that got invited to the Combine. That's why I changed my mind. I'm allowed to change my mind. But if you actually watch my videos, you'll see every day or every time I do a video why I've changed my mind. And I tell you exactly why. I say, yes, I was pissed. I didn't change my mind about that. And I still don't think 6th is great for Daniel Jones. I don't say, well, it's a great pick. But I definitely think that Daniel Jones can succeed in this league. And I do think he'll be better than Dak Prescott because Dak Prescott's got all the talent in the world and he can't throw more than 23 touchdowns. That's ridiculous. He's got 1 more touchdown the last 3 years than Eli has. And you guys think Eli's the worst quarterback ever. So tell me again. Hey, Dak stinks. Sorry, Rover. That's a little bad dog for you. I get going sometimes.
I'm apologizing. I freaking wanted that to continue going. I was enjoying that rant. I was enjoying the whole experience. You got to get the bad dog experience on here, my friend. And, the fact is about Jones, he kind of lobs that ball in there a little bit. But he's smart enough, and he's going to be playing with the best talent that he's ever going to play with. I think that Kyler even has like more of that arm talent, like that just pops off the page when you watch like a Kyler throw.
Kyler's my man, yeah.
But I love Daniel mentally. Is just going to be going to be so interesting in the NFL game. It's all between the ears, and this guy can react to things quickly. He's already teaching the rookies in training camp how the offense works. He's so damn smart, and that's what is the most exciting quality is him like learning the playbook. He's going to learn defenses. Pat Shurmur. He's going to be accurate. He got killed at Duke as well. I'm not ready to say that he's going to be better. I look at at a Tua Tagovailoa. I look at I'm trying to think maybe of another guy like a Kyler Murray, a Drew Lock, a Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm confident in those guys. Daniel Jones, I'm still like a tiny bit of a wait and see with Jones.
Right.
But I'm excited. I'm not going to jump to anything yet because he still can lob that ball up there. He still made some bad throws at Duke. I'm wait and see, but I'm optimistic, though. I'll say that.
West Coast keeps telling me to watch film on Darnold. I don't need to watch film at USC on Darnold. I watched Darnold play in the NFL, and I don't think that Darnold's talent's horrible, but what I don't like about Sam Darnold, and it's the same thing I don't like about Dak Prescott, their coach sucks. He had Todd Bowles, didn't do any favors. Now he has to learn a whole new system, and Adam Gase ain't going to do Sam Darnold any favors. The coaching staff has a lot to do with the development of a young quarterback. Jason Garrett's a crappy head coach, so Dak Prescott stinks. That's just how it is. So Adam Gase and Todd Bowles are a terrible head coach. Adam Gase couldn't do anything with Ryan Tannehill down there in Miami, so he's not going to do anything with Sam Darnold, where Pat Shurmur made Case Keenum a Pro Bowl quarterback, and Case Keenum sucks, okay? I mean, this is why I do it. You guys just think I just come on here and spew bullshit at you, but I actually pay attention to what the hell I'm talking about. I have reasons for why I do the videos I do. Believe it or not. Sometimes.
Yeah, and Sam Darnold, I mean, his arm strength is just not. You watch him at USC, it's a loopy release. It's not good. Le'Veon Bell's not going to do any favors for the guy. The expectations of the Jets are out of whack. It's an impatient fan base, and Adam Gase is a nightmare. And their owner, they're firing general managers every single day. It's a clown show organization. I think Dak is actually going to do a little bit better because Kellen Moore is an offensive coordinator. He's a young guy out of Boise State. That's going to be kind of interesting for Dak. I don't think Dak is terrible. I don't like Sam Darnold whatsoever.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold, though.
No, you don't like Sam Darnold. We're not bitter. I'm not bitter about anything. I'm just telling you how it is. That's my opinion. And you can think it's bitter, but I told you, I don't pull punches. I'm as real as it gets on here. I'm not here to massage egos. I'm not here to agree with people. I'm here to tell you my opinion. You can agree with it. You can disagree with it. I respect you either way.
Or you could piss the hell off. Or you could piss off. That's you. You could piss the hell off. And people need to start realizing that too many people on here care too much about the comments or negative videos. I think that if you get thumbs down, man, you're doing something right, man.
It happens, sometimes.
Strive for the thumb downs, bro.
Yeah. Giants might go 6-10 at best. Maybe we will. I don't know who your team is, but I can tell you this. In 2 years, the Giants and Redskins are going to be at the top of this division. And the Cowboys and Eagles
the
are going to be
Redskins?
Yeah.
Really? Why do you think the Redskins are going to be good? You think Haskins is going to be good?
I don't know how good Haskins is going to be. I don't think he'll be I told you. I did a video. I think Daniel Jones is going to be better than Dwayne Haskins, too. I think he'll be better than Dwayne Haskins in the NFL.
The Redskins are still going to be terrible. I still think that the Eagles because the Redskins, I don't see Jay Gruden lasting there.
He's not going to. No, he won't. He won't be there.
Well, if they promote the O'Connell guy, yeah. The Redskins, though, they don't really have cap flexibility. They're putting all their money in the land in college. I think that Philadelphia Eagles are still going to be better. I think the Redskins are going to suck for forever, man. Their owner is worse than Jerry Jones. I do believe that.
Daniel
so
Snyder's
I think the Redskins suck. And the Dallas Cowboys, we'll see. The Eagles have Carson Wentz. They're going to go downhill a little bit, but the Cowboys are still going to be pretty good.
With the Eagles, I just worry about Carson Wentz staying healthy. And it's not even the torn ACL from a couple years ago. It's a bad back. It ended Romo's career. So you got a bad back. Any hit can mess your back up. And your bad back is paralyzing. So,
yeah.
But
and their defense is getting old.
Phillies?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And they signed Deshaun Jackson back. He's old as hell. He won't be what he was. I mean, the Eagles are good. The Eagles they're gonna everything they do is gonna ride on Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is the best quarterback in this division.
The cornerbacks are not that good in Philadelphia.
No.
Who the hell knows about McLeod? Their linebackers are not good. Their D-line, Malik Jackson can play. Brandon Graham is old but is still decent. Carson Wentz, I do like Goddard and Zach Ertz, so they have a little bit of talent. Miles Sanders, so
Ertz is great.
They're an okay team.
Yeah, I don't think they're. That's why the Cowboys win in the division.
They're not special.
No, they're not. I don't think they're a Super Bowl contending team. I don't. But I do think that the Giants in a couple of years are going to be the best team in this division. I really do. I think 2020, you're going to see this team is going to surprise a lot of people this year. It is.
This year, I'm thinking wild card. We'll let Dallas get 12 or 13 wins, and we'll take 10 and get into the wild card.
I would love that. That'd be great. I would take that. Take it.
I'm feeling good. I'm thinking we could beat the Eagles this year and have a better record than those guys, man.
From your lips to God's, just let us beat them once. We never beat that damn team. Never. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and in their stadium, even in 2016, we choked to that damn team, and the Elliott field goal was incredibly disappointing. That game just haunts you. There's haunting games. How about the Shady McCoy toss game that you'll remember? The Brian Westbrook return game.
That game was stupid. That 97 game, we had them beat. They couldn't do a damn thing on offense, and we kick it to Brian Westbrook, and he returns a freaking punt for a touchdown less than 2 minutes to go in the game. It was so stupid. I'm like, Fossil, what the hell are you kicking the damn ball to him for? It didn't make any sense. Just like Matt Dodge, what the hell you Coughlin chewed him out for that?
Dumbest game, and those Eagles fans go in the Giants stadium, and they think they own the place. It was so annoying, man.
West Coast, you haven't been in my streams. I am in finance. I do finance. That's what I do for a living. I handle budgets and stuff.
You're a stock maestro.
I'm in stocks. No, I just do budgets. I work for the state of New York. But I wish I was a stock guy. But we're going to wrap it up, guys. Went a little overtime tonight. I want to thank Rover Sports, obviously, for coming on the channel. I want to thank everybody for being in the chat, asking the questions, and hanging out tonight, guys. I really do appreciate it. One more time, if you haven't subbed up, my man right there, make sure that you go into the description of this video, click on the link to his channel, and please sub him up. And again, man, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. This was a lot of fun, and I look forward to working with you again. We worked together before, and I hope we can do it again soon.
Yeah, Afghanistan, I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody, in the chat, like Poppy Goat, all these guys. And, It was so awesome. Alex Norcal, a lot of great people, and your friends are people in my stream as well. So it was a blast, man. It was great. It was great getting on here and doing it, and I'm so glad it worked. So thanks again for having me.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you guys have a great night. And until tomorrow night when we have episode 3 with my man Mustard Bus, we'll be back for the Doghouse about 10:30. So hope to see you then. Have a great night. Have a great Friday. And we'll see you next time. For Rover Sports, it's Baddog and the Doghouse. And we gone. Peace!